Hey viewers, I'm Peyton Newman, Miss Illinois Outstanding Teen. Today I'm here at the Vernon Hills Village Hall to interview Village Trustee Tom Koch. Look out for this interview and more coming to you every Wednesday on the YouTube channel. We are here today doing an interview with our Village Trustee Tom Koch all about teen volunteerism in the Vernon Hills area and overall. Where do you see volunteerism fitting into the schedule of today's teens?
I see a lot of kids volunteering. I mean, being in a school system, whenever we have some kind of a program, some kind of a fundraiser, student government, I think kids are more involved than a lot of people give them credit for. And I think it's something very important. I mean, that's when I started. I started back in high school. I was in student government. In college, I was in student government. And I've always been involved some way in my community. And I really think kids do more of it than people give them credit for. A perfect example is that article that was just in the Daily Herald about the young lady from Naperville,
Yes.
who's doing that international sports, Give Sports a Chance thing, or Chance for Sports, where she's collecting a lot of stuff for kids and stuff like that. There are more of those out there than people realize.
Yes. What types of opportunities for volunteering or serving the Vernon Hills community are available for teens?
Boy, that's a good question. I know the Park District has some stuff. I know working with their school is always something that can be done. One of my former students, in fact, is now one of the directors for PADS for Lake County. So he's gone from volunteering for stuff at school to actually, working on it in real life. And I think either through the Park District or your school or a church, there are always, fundraisers going on. There are always opportunities to do things like volunteer at a place like PADS for one evening or something, to just those kinds of things all throughout the community, or to help work on community events like Summer Celebration or Rib Fest or that.
Yes. With all the issues teens are facing today, such as social pressures, academic load, athletic performance, do you feel that volunteering and or serving the community is important? And if so, why?
Oh, I absolutely think it's important, because there's the old line about it takes a village to raise a kid. Well, it actually takes the kids also to help raise the village. The whole community needs to be involved, and it's because students bring a different perspective sometimes than older people do, and it will get us thinking about it. I mean, my two favorite examples being on the board were some guys who came. A couple of guys came one night. We were just having our student government meeting, and they made a presentation about getting a skate park built. And it was such a great presentation, we asked them to stay and do the same presentation at the board meeting. And the next thing you knew, we had several developers at that meeting volunteering to donate things, and within a matter of a month or so, the skate park that is back there still by the Park District got built. And just a few weeks ago, we had two young men from Vernon Hills High School in talking to us about developing an energy farm at the VHAC Center to perhaps have the athletic complex there be totally self-sufficient in terms of its electricity. And this was two high school guys coming in with this idea. And their presentation was amazing. The amount of work they'd done in advance and are still doing on it is awesome. So there's a lot of things that everybody can do for their community, and it's not just adults, it's teens, it's young adults. Everybody should be doing something to help their community.
Yes. How do you see our generation's willingness to try and do more for the community around us?
The kids I'm involved with on a regular basis, or have been while I was teaching, like I said, I think more kids are involved than people give them credit for. That doesn't make the news that often, all the good things that they do. But when I hear about them volunteering and stuff like that, I think they're probably about the same as previous generations. I mean, do I wish there were more kids involved? Yeah. There could always be more people involved. That's an important thing. But I think the kids I'm seeing are doing a nice job of it, especially at the high school and the middle schools here.
Yes. How does the high school, if they do, work with the village if students want to do more for their community?
Well, that presentation a couple weeks ago was a perfect example. Dr. Gilliam, the principal from Vernon Hills High School, was here to support those guys and the effort they want to do to help create that energy farm. And the people that I know that are over there that are counselors and work with student government that are always willing to point a kid in a direction, say, hey, go talk to this person or whatever, or we'll tell them go talk to somebody. And between us, I think we managed to get more kids involved. That's one of the reasons I think finally having a high school in this community was one of the best things we ever did.
Many websites list a benefit of volunteering as a teen as being able to enhance your college resume. Do you agree or disagree with this, and why?
I think it helps not just your college resume, but later on in life too. People are not always looking for the person with the highest GPA or the highest class rank. They're looking for somebody that has a broader personality, someone who is a more rounded person. And many bosses take that into account when they're interviewing people. They find people that have been active and do things, because part of it is because if you, the famous old saying is if you want to get something done, give it to a busy person. And if you've got somebody who's doing their schoolwork and a few other things and then still finding time to volunteer, that's somebody who gets things done and is very well organized.
Does the village currently benefit from volunteer work performed by others? If so, how important do you feel it is for others to give time to help the village operate better?
Well, the best example is Summer Celebration. That whole festival is run by volunteer. And that's a huge festival, and without the volunteers, that wouldn't happen. And everybody on the Summer Celebration Committee is a volunteer from the community, and they put in numerous hours. That's probably the best example. But we have that, and Oktoberfest, and the Park District has Rib Fest. The 4th of July parade is an all-volunteer committee that organizes that. Being involved in your community is important. It's what makes a community better to live in if people are involved in that community.
That's awesome. One way volunteering can be fun is to do it in groups. You see large groups of teens all the time volunteering together. How important do you think it is for teens to interact outside of school on social or community causes?
Again, it makes for a more well-rounded life. It makes more opportunity to have friends and enjoy. If you're doing a project with friends, it's a lot more enjoyable than if you're just doing it by yourself.
Right.
And it makes it seem more worthwhile when you know there are other people doing the same thing you're doing.
So our last question is that we live in a very privileged area of Illinois. Volunteering and serving our community may be a great way of paying it forward. What type of impact do you think my generation can have when we use our gift for service?
Well, I like your phrase of paying it forward. That's always something I've believed in forever. If you continue to do things for people and for people around you and for your community, when you need something, somebody will be there for you. And that's not the reason you do it, but that's what happens. And that's why I think giving back to your community, volunteering in your community, helping people in your neighborhood is an extremely important thing, because it always gives me a sense of just feeling good about the way things are going, feeling good about how life is going, to know that an instance I'm helping people, and then sometimes when I've needed help, there's been somebody there for me, and that's the pay it forward. I like when you use that, because that's what it's all about, is doing something for somebody else, and the world's a better place when you do that. One of my favorite phrases, people are constantly putting other people down. And the phrase I've used in school for years is, you don't have to blow out somebody else's candle to make yours burn brighter. In fact, if everybody's candle is burning as bright as it can, that's when the room is at its brightest.
Right.
So it's a lot better when we're all in it together and all working to make a better community, and that could be something brand new. Again, like I said, this young lady with the sporting goods stuff had me contact a friend of mine who works with a local baseball program and say, hey, could we do something around here? So it's snowballs, and somebody comes up with something new, then we'll see where it goes.
Yes, I'd like to say thank you so much for giving your time for this interview. And I'm Peyton Newman, Miss Illinois Outstanding Teen, and you heard it here first.